Hey everyone, RogueGold here, welcome back to the Division 2. And today, we've got a pretty big new update coming to the game tomorrow, August 12th, 2025. Now, the first part of that is that we're getting the season finale for Year 7 Season 1, Crossroads. That includes the final scout, the new climax mission, the new exotic coming with it, the Tinkerer. I did a video last week covering all of the things you can do to prepare for the release of that item. In case you want that guide, you want to do any last minute preparations, I'll leave the link down in the description. But the other important part to this and what we're covering in today's video is that we're getting the Year 7 Season 1.3 patch. And while it includes a few scattered bug fixes, one of the major things is that these patch notes detail us the drop rates for the upcoming stretch goals event. That was something that we covered at the end of last week, and we were hoping that we were going to get the drop rates. They're here, so we're going to dive into that. And yeah, as always, if you want to stay up to date on the latest with the Division 2, then be sure to subscribe if you're not already. I'm going to be going live tomorrow to dive into the season finale, check out the Tinkerer, start making some builds. So tune in, would love to see you there. More details are over on the community page. Before jumping in, shout out and thank you to our channel members. I appreciate your ongoing support endlessly. Thank you so much. But without further ado, let's get to this. Alright, so as you can see right here, we have the Year 7 Season 1.3 patch notes coming tomorrow, Tuesday, August 12th. The game is yet to do a social media post about this, but you can expect that the game servers will go down at the normal times for an estimated 3-hour downtime window for them to deploy this new patch, and when it's live we will then have everything to dive into. So let's get to it. So to begin, they recap some of the things coming up with stretch goals. Once again, I did a video at the end of last week because the game released a dedicated article about this. If you want the longer and more in-depth explanation as to what this all is, then I recommend checking out that video. I'll link it down in the description as well. But this is a good follow-up because, like I mentioned in the intro, we now have the drop rates for items like the Lexington, the Turmoil. That's right, they're coming back. So what does it say right here? Firstly, stretch goals return on August 19th, so this will not be live immediately tomorrow. We are going to have to wait one additional week, but on the 19th, this will begin. And as it says here, they give you another shot at earning high value rewards beyond tier 100 of the season pass, including hard to obtain exotics and, for the first time ever, event limited named items like the the Lexington AR and the Turmoil knee pads. So again, we covered all this in that previous video, but this is going to add page 11 to the pass, 10 looping rewards. It's all free. You don't need to have premium, and you cannot purchase levels like was initially available to do last season. To rank these up again, it's just season pass XP, which come notably from Manhunt Scouts, seasonal journey, priority objectives, weekly projects, but then also every activity in the game gives you some amount of that stuff. But the 2x season XP bonus that's live right now, that only applies up to tier 100. You don't get it from tiers 101 to 110. So once again, we're going to have these Summer Swarm caches available within the stretch goals, and they have a chance to drop, again, things like the Lexington, the Turmoil, also the raid exotics like last season's stretch goals did with the Eagle Bear, the Ravenous, all of those. We now have the specific drop rate, so let's get into those. So every Summer Swarm cache that you open, there's probably, I would imagine, going to be 5 of these between tiers 101 and 110. That's what happened last season. They contain guaranteed seasonal items, so stuff from this Crossroads season, as well as crafting materials, but then beyond that, for those like extra drops at the bottom, these are going to be your additional chance-based drops. So for every cache you open, there's a 50% chance that you will get one of these vanity items, and this is until the supply runs out, right? Once you collect all of these things, then this goes away because there's nothing left to collect in that category. So a 50% chance per cache to get one of the 5 pieces of the Wasp Warrior outfit, a 50% chance to get one of the 4 arm patches, there are 2 weapon skins, and there's a singular Wasp Warrior trinket backpack trophy. So what have we got? 12 items in total in this vanity item category. Once again, 50% chance per pull until you get them all. All right, then we have the seasonal and special exotics category. Now that says here, and what the trend here that we're going to follow is that this rate is the percent chance for you to get something within this category, but then these can differ a little bit. So again, per every single Summer Swarm cache that you open, there is a 10% chance that you will get one of these seasonal or special exotics as an additional reward. And once you trigger that 10% chance for that to happen, this is then the distribution of what you can get. The Pecan has a 10% chance, the Nimble Holster has a 10%, the Nemesis is 10, Liberty is 10, Dodge City is 10, Ridgeway is 10, but the Chatterbox specifically, as it notes right here, has an increased drop chance during this event, and that is going to be at a 40% chance. So once again, if you pull this 10% drop category for this thing within the cache. Once that's locked in, you then have a 40% chance to get the Chatterbox, 10% for everything else on this list. Moving down, very similar principle here with the named items. So every time you open a Summer Swarm cache, 10% chance that one of these named items will be the additional reward. And within that category, everything here with the Turmoil, the Caretaker, all of the Hunter items, and then all of the event ones that are normally within the Loot Goblins pool, those all have a 5% chance. Again, once you pull that overall 10% drop rate, but then the Lexington specifically, as it notes here, has an increased chance, and that is at 30%. So it is a much higher probability for you to get the Lexington, but again, you have to first pull that 10% chance when you open one of these caches. Now, I know that seems low. Just keep in mind, you're going to be able to open a good amount of these caches throughout the duration of the event. We still don't have an exact end date, probably 2 or 3 weeks it'll be live, and I'll do a guide giving you some of the best tips. But again, I know this seems a little low. I'm sure some people are going to be like, I'm not going to get one even though it's here. You're probably going to get one. It's going to be okay. All right, but then finally, let's keep moving down. The last category here is the exclusive exotics. Now these, like last season, there is a 0.5% chance that when you open one of the Summer Swarm caches, you will get one of these rewards. Now these all have the exact same 14.2% drop rate. So that includes the Regulus, the Eagle Bearer, the Ravenous, the Bighorn, the Ouroboros, the Provocator, and Birdie's Quick Fix pack. Once again, to clarify, 0.5% chance to unlock this category of reward. Once you do, these all have an equal 14.2% chance to be the actual reward that you get. I hope that all makes sense. I know sometimes probability can trip people up, but that's how they're working it. So once again, to clarify, all of that stuff that we just looked at is coming on August 19th. That will actually not be live tomorrow, but let's cover what will be live tomorrow in the other category. Firstly, they fixed an issue in the Battle for Brooklyn DLC's Art Museum mission where the Recover Intel loading sequence would not stop when a player in the loading area becomes unconscious. They fixed an issue with the Oxidizer Chem Launcher skill where killing an enemy while the Golden Bullet global event was active would refill the magazine to full. They fixed an issue here where the Nutcracker Merit Commendation could not be completed. I know a good amount of people have reported this to me over the years, I think, so good to see this fixed up. They fixed an issue where the container would drop multiple times or appear already lowered before falling again when reaching the Beat 5 objective in the Potomac Event Center mission. Comms from the Manhunt were not auto-playing after players completed a scout objective to unlock them. That's been fixed up. There was an issue where the switch weapon button in the bundles category redirected players to the previously selected bundle on the PC platform. And then finally, they fixed an issue with the silver lining skin not matching its preview image when equipped on the AUG A3 Para XS. So there you have it, folks. That is the entirety of the Year 7 Season 1.3 patch notes. A little bit light in the actual fix part here, but once again, tomorrow we have, beyond what they're detailing in these patch notes, everything to dive into with the season finale, the mission, the master mission, the Tinkerer. So we're going to be busy. I hope you're ready. That is just about everything I've got for today's video, folks. I hope you're excited for the drop tomorrow. I certainly am. At this point, though, as always, I would love to know your guys' thoughts on everything that we went over here. What are you thinking about the Year 7 Season 1.3 patch notes? Anything that you're glad to see included? Anything that you think is missing from this list? And most notably, what do you think about those drop rates for all of the items within the Summer Swarm caches? Are you satisfied with the drop rates for stuff like the Lexington, the Turmoil, the Caretaker, the Raid Exotics, the EB, the Ravenous, all of it? Let me know your thoughts. I'd be curious to see the feedback. That is going to do it for me today, though. Once again, if you're interested, would love to see you in the stream tomorrow. We're going to be live right here on the channel, diving into the season finale. But regardless of when I see you next, have a great rest of your day, and until the next one, RogueGold out.